Hello, hello. Happy Wednesday. Happy Wednesday to all of you. This is Melissa Brown, your soul love coach. And this is day 3 of the emotional detox. And I don't know about you, but I am super excited. So I'm going to give you guys just a few moments to get on. Hey, Sharon, that is 3 nights in a row I've had you on here. So good to see you. Hey, Felicia. Hi, Joyce. All of my faithful ladies are hopping on. And so I hope everybody's been having a fabulous week so far. I hope that you have been doing your work, and I hope you've been digging in. And so even though you got folks that have been a part of this detox, hey, Teresa, good to have you on live. Even though I know many of y'all have kind of been with me. I got 3 ladies that have already done the deep dive, the 6 weeks with me, and I'll be sharing a little bit more about that because I know some of you have already been messaging me like, Melissa, I got to do my work. I'm feeling what you're saying. I know what you're saying. God has already told me that. And if you know there is some emotional business that you have absolutely got to clean up before you get to the end of 2019 so you can be ready for your 2020, you will have an opportunity to do just that. So I'm gonna give folks a little bit more time to hop on since we are on back to our regular time schedule tonight of 8 p.m. on the East Coast, 5 p.m. West Coast. And I hope that you have the life work. If not, I'm going to be kind of moving through it, and I'm actually going to be moving more through what is on day 2. I think I must have inadvertently switched up day 3 with day 2 because tonight we're letting go of every single excuse, because what I know for sure is that you either have a whole bunch of reasons why or you have results. And tonight is your night to decide, do you want to keep on giving the same reasons why you haven't done X, Y, and Z, why you're still in the same spot you were in last year and the year before, why you have not made a move when you keep saying, God is telling me, God is prompting me, but you're still in the same place. And so you either got your reasons why you're stuck or you got results. And tonight, I really hope that you are in the place where you're deciding, I want the results. I want the results that God promised me. I want the results that I've been dreaming about. I want the results I've been writing in my journal about. No more reasons, no more excuses. Tonight we are kicking all of those reasons to the curb. Hey, Yuri, so good to see you here. And I know many of you have been sharing these videos, so I am so grateful for that. Because as I've been saying, this is a movement. This is the 3rd time that I have done the virtual detox. This is the 3rd time. And so every single time I do it, more and more people keep telling their friends and telling their sister friends, hey, Tanisha. Tanisha's one of the sisters that's been sharing it. So I appreciate that. So even before we get started tonight, feel free to share it out. Tell folks to hop on. It's 8 o'clock at night. I know some people got Bible study on their Wednesday night, but if you're not at Bible study, come on and get into this soul study right here. So let's center ourselves. Let's get ready to pray so we can get to work. There is much work to do tonight. So y'all ready? Deep breath, very centered, because this is about you. Focus totally on you. Lord, we bless you. We thank you for another day. We thank you, God, that this is the 3rd day that you have given us to go deeper into ourselves, to look at who we really are, and also look at who we have been. And so, God, tonight I pray that you would help us to let go of every excuse that's been standing in the way. Help us to realize that our reasons that we've been telling ourselves are nothing more than the stories we've made up. Because your word says, with you, nothing is impossible. And we are at a place in our lives, God, that either we're going to believe you or not. We're going to trust you or not. That we're going to move or not. And God, tonight we declare that every woman listening is ready to make a move. And so God, move her in her spirit, move her in her soul, move her in her heart, shift the thinking in her mind, that even by way of the internet, even by way of a virtual detox, her mind, her life will never be the same. Give her a hunger and thirst for more. Give her a hunger and thirst that only you can satisfy. So it's in Jesus' name we pray. Amen. Amen. All right, ladies, I see Allison has joined. Miss Aura is on. All of my lovely, lovely, lovely people. And so for some of you, this is review. And for others, this is brand new. But every time I do the detox, I add a few more little nuances because God just keeps bringing it down, keeps bringing more and more. And also, the more I talk to you all, the more I work with you on the wounds that you've been carrying around in your soul and in your spirit, the things that are getting in the way, the more aware I am becoming, the more I'm learning how we get in our own way and just really learning how is it that we got to navigate if we're really going to make a change. And so tonight, and if you read the post, we talked about that you will either have a whole bunch of reasons why, or you will get results, one or the other. And actually, when you talk about reasons, we can have reasons why we don't, and there are reasons why we do. And so tonight, my prayer for you is that whatever the reason is that you've been holding on to, that rather it be a reason why you can't, why you won't, why you're not, that it becomes the reason why you must. The reason why I must move. The reason why I must heal. The reason why I must step out. Even if I'm trembling in fear, I must. No more reasons why I can't. No more reasons why I'm afraid. No more reasons that have to do with other people. Because yesterday, what we talked about was your circle. We really talked about who are you around. And our reference point is the man who sat by the Bethesda pool, John chapter 5. And he sat there for 38 years, but he didn't sit there by himself. He was surrounded by a whole bunch of other sick, unhealthy people who were waiting on a miracle. They were all in the same condition. And so we talked about yesterday, if you are going to make a change, you're going to have to separate yourself from the pack. You cannot be with people who are at the same level as you, who are doing the same stuff as you, who have the same kind of negative thinking as you, and expect to go higher. Because all that gets produced is a reproduction of what y'all already are. That's why I said like attracts like. And so you are going to have to get uncomfortable. You are going to have to actually become comfortable with being uncomfortable. And as much as we like to go and navigate and gravitate toward what is familiar, if you really want your breakthrough in this season, if 2020 is going to be the year that everything cracks open for you and you have the watershed moment that you've been wanting to have, you better get ready to get uncomfortable. And so tonight, we're going to talk about the reasons that you would rather stay comfortable. What are the reasons? Hey, Keisha. And so, and hi, Michael. I see you here by way of Auntie Joyce. Amen. And so tonight we're going to go a little deeper because yesterday we talked about when Jesus asked him, do you want to be made whole? And that was day one. Do you really want it? And his response to a yes or no question was, I don't have nobody. And so he immediately started talking about the people. His reason was the people that I'm around. So we talked about that yesterday because maybe he needed to change his circle. I don't have nobody to put me in. I don't have nobody to help me. I don't have nobody who supports me. And so tonight, I'm going to dig a little deeper into your excuses, because your excuses, your reasons, the stories you tell have a whole lot to do with your soul wounds. Because soul wounds, and if you missed that, go back to day 2, where I kind of go through just an overview of the soul wounds. And so tonight, part of what happens with your excuse is whatever the thing is that you most fear is connected to the soul wound, that becomes the reason why you won't and why you don't. Your soul wound, whatever it is you fear, becomes the reason why you don't and why you won't. Example, because I'm going to go through them all just to tell you what the reason is, and you can affirm within yourself and affirm in the comments whether or not I'm right. So if the soul wound is abandonment, which means I've been left, people are always leaving me, it's always me, myself, and I. It's me on an island by myself because I can't depend on nobody because people just leave. The fear of why you are not doing what you are called to do has to do with you feel like you're going to lose the few people you have. Because the soul wound of abandonment always wants people to show up. They want people to be present. Are you going to be there for me? And so if what God is calling or requiring of you in this season means that I'm going to have to put at risk the people that I believe will show up for me, and if I do this, though, there is a chance, there's an opportunity they may not be there. And I have to decide whether or not I am going to be obedient to the call or if I'm going to be clinging to people because I'm so afraid I'm going to lose them. If I tell you the truth, if I'm honest about who I really am, if I tell you how I really feel about this relationship, will you leave me? That's the soul wound of abandonment. And because we are more fearful of being left again, that we are so fearful that we're going to be by ourselves again, you will stay in a situation that doesn't work for you, which unfortunately, this is how it works, you all. You end up by yourself, even though you're in a room full of people. Hello, somebody. So just because you got people with you don't mean people are with you. Because part of the problem of what happens is when you leave yourself to go and cling to people, you abandon yourself. So you may be with the people, you may still be at the job, you may still be in the marriage, but you ain't there. Your body's here with me, but your mind is on the other side of town. You'll have abandoned yourself, even though you're still there. All because you have in the relationship betrayed yourself. You have not been honest with yourself. You have not shown up for you. You abandoned your truth because you were so afraid you was going to lose people that now you abandon you. So they there, but you not. And you're wondering why you still feel disrupted. This is where we got to clean it up. So you have to decide, am I going to show up for me? What's my reason? What is the reason I've been telling myself? And as a result of the reason I've been telling myself, I've been doing myself harm. Next level of it. This is another huge one. The soul wound of neglect. Basic needs are met. Okay, the people may be there. Soul wound of neglect has to do with emotional neglect. And I've already told you that where there is abandonment, there is neglect. Think about all the abandoned homes when the housing market popped and there was streets upon streets, especially in the Midwest, especially in cities like Detroit, where there was just abandonment of homes. There was also neglect. That means there is nobody to tend to me. There is nobody to tend to me. There's nobody to love on me. There's nobody to come and meet me in my place of need emotionally. Okay? Nobody there. nobody can meet the emotional need. They may be there present, but they are disconnected emotionally. That's why so many of us, yesterday we talked about like attracts like and what's familiar. So why are you in a relationship with people who have zero emotional intelligence? Because that's what you're used to. People who are so out of tune and out of touch with you because they are out of touch with themselves. So you want them to be intuitive. You want them to, have enough intuition to know how you feel and know how to be sensitive. You can't give what you are not. And as I said yesterday, what you are wanting someone else to do is your assignment to do. And some of us are going to have to go back and we are going to have to remother and we are going to have to refather ourselves emotionally. Because while you are there for everybody else, these are my women who tend to love too much, do too much, love too much, give yourself to an extreme because you know what it feels like to be neglected. And in our minds, a lot of times we have equated love with work. So because that's what we did as young people. That's what we did as kids. I got to work hard to get your attention. I got to perform to get your love. I got to be perfect to get everything I need, to get my needs met. I got to do this. So that some of us are exhausted in marriage because you are being emotionally neglected. And rather than learning how to bring love into your own heart, all you're doing is working harder and doing more and doing more. And maybe he'll love me now. And maybe he'll see me now. Maybe he'll be in tune. Maybe he'll see how hard I work now. Not until you see yourself. Not until you love yourself. Not until you comfort yourself. Because the more you neglect yourself, the more you give other people permission to do the same. So while you working harder, while you giving more, because givers end up with takers, all that's going to happen is they're going to take more. Because you're showing them, I don't value me. I don't take time for me. I am not taking care of me. I will work myself from 6 a.m. to 12 at night. Soon as my feet hit the floor, I'm running to take care of kids. I'm running to get to work. I'm doing all the stuff at work. I'm staying late at work. Then I come home and I cook dinner and then I clean up and then I run around because Halloween is tomorrow and I got to get this together. And then we want to get mad and we want to be resentful because ain't nobody taking care of us when that's our job. That's our job. To say, I've had enough. I need some time for me. So, but part of what, in terms of our excuses, why can't we pull back? Why can't we have honest conversations? Still talking about emotional detox in here. Because before you go into 2020, before you pack your bags and separate in your marriage, before you just be like, I've had enough of this, you better have a conversation. Because some of us have had a conversation up here, but you have not had a conversation right here. Before you tell everybody off and give them a piece of your mind, you got to first be honest with you and say, you know what? I set this up. I neglected me. I showed you all how to treat me. And the reason why, my reason why I couldn't be honest, the reason why I couldn't say, no, I don't want to do it. The reason why I couldn't tell my pastor, no, I don't want to volunteer is because I was so afraid I was going to lose your love. And I felt like I had to do it to get you to stay with me. That's a soul wound. Hello, classic codependence. That you got to be all right for me to be all right. And if I make you upset, then I'm upset because, ooh, I must have messed up. And in the process, you're the one in turmoil because you're not taking care of you. We must learn to have these difficult conversations. We must learn to tell the truth. And a healthy relationship can handle no. And if it can't, then you really need to assess your relationship. If I can't tell you no, then we really need to have a talk. That's not a relationship. That's a bondage. There has to be freedom in love. Even God gives you permission to say no. You choose. That's what God says. You choose. Your choice. Love does not force. Love does not make you. So we have to choose us. And if choosing me makes you leave me, then I never had you in the first place. Never had you in the first place. If me taking care of me makes you walk away from me. So, talking about what your reasons are, and I want you to be thinking about what we talked about yesterday, who you are around, and the reasons you are telling yourself you cannot do the thing that God has been prompting you to do, whatever that may be. There are some things in your life that got to go. There's some conversations that absolutely need to be had. And there are some reasons why you have not had them. And they are also the same reasons why you don't have the results that you say you want. Because God requires your participation in the miracle. We're still waiting on fairy dust. We're still waiting on somebody to put us in the pool. That's what the man was doing. Sitting there waiting. Sitting there waiting. I don't have nobody. And still sitting there for 38 years. I would have found a way to crawl to the pool. But we're sitting and we're waiting and we're making other people responsible for what we have been responsible for. The results you are getting in your life are directly related to the choices you make or don't make. You are creating your life. No one else is making your life. You are. We co-create with God. So it's like God knew. Yeah, God knew. But again, God gives you choice. This is not like some planned world where, God has us like robots. No, God already knew what you were going to choose, but he still gives you the freedom to choose. So we've done abandonment. We've done neglect. Another major one of what is the excuse? What is the reason that you've been telling yourself? What's the story you've made up for the soul wound of abandonment? The soul wound, not abandonment, the soul wound of rejection. Again, it's very close to neglect. It has to do with what people are going to say. And if you have been rejected, the number one need that you have is acceptance. And so a lot of you all fall into this category because you've been saying the reason why I'm not really pushing myself to the front, the reason why I'm not doing all the things that God has called me to do is because you know what they're going to say. And the question is, what is God going to say? Not what are they going to say? Why are you so concerned with people? But again, when the soul wound is rejection, our number one need is, am I enough yet? Do you like me? Am I okay with you? Because let me break this down. The real reason that there are really only three excuses that anybody ever uses. It is fear of failure. We all are familiar with that. You're so afraid I'm going to fail. I'm so afraid I'm going to fail, which really has to do with what are people going to say? Because we're really not afraid of the failure. We're more afraid of what people are going to say about the failure. That's what we're concerned about. And that's what I'm coming to break up tonight. You're concerned with what people are going to say and you got a kingdom to build? You concerned about whether or not somebody like you and you don't even know them and you don't even like them. But you're concerned about whether or not they like you? You don't even like you. Second thing that you are most afraid of, fear of failure, fear of success. Those are our excuses. Fear of success. Who in the world is afraid of success? You. That's why you keep going to the edge and then going back. Back pedal. We do the back pedal. We want to do moonwalk. Everybody wants to, have a moment. And then when God gives you the moment, you say, never mind. I didn't know it was going to be that much. I didn't think everybody was going to see me. That's why I said the reason why people don't have money is because they are afraid to be seen. I talked a little bit about that yesterday, but definitely that is something that gets talked about in our 6th week. When we get into that deeper process for those that are struggling with money, struggling in their finances, a lot of people said that on Monday. And the reason why we struggle in our finances is because you are afraid of your greatness. You are afraid of success. The success is available. Money is just a resource. Money is just a means of exchange. But the reason why you don't have money, and you could have money at any given time, you could have more money than you imagine at any given time if you would do what needs to be done. But while you sitting up wondering what people gonna say, I don't know. And some of us are afraid of what people gonna say if you make it. So you're not even afraid of whether or not, well, they're gonna talk about me if I fail. Well, you used to that. You're used to people talking about you. I said we love the familiar. That puts us back in our old story. That puts us back in the story of, yep, don't nobody like me. Everybody in my family hates on me. Yep, they always trying to put me down. How long you gonna keep telling that story? Why don't you go ahead and blow everybody out the water and do what you came to do? You only here on this earth for a short time. You don't know how long you're going to be here. You might as well do what you came to do. Do what you came to do. Let the people talk. Let people clap. Let people do whatever. But the reason why you won't do it is because you won't elevate to the platform that you have been given. It's time for you to elevate. It's time for you to step it up. It's time for you to be seen. So as much as we say, I just want to please God. You want to please God, but you want to please him in the corner. And God says, I'm not going to give you a light to go stick it under the table. A light must go on the hill. A light must shine so that everybody can see it. So everybody is going to see it. Even the people who hate your guts are going to see it. Even the people who thought you would never be nothing are going to see it. And you got to get real comfortable letting people see you, letting people see your imperfection, letting people see you when you mess up, letting people see you try. Because what does anybody got to say who's standing on the sidelines watching, who's sitting on the sidelines as an extra in their own life instead of living their life? Who got a critique when you ain't even in the arena? You better go ahead and do what you came to do and let people clap. Let people talk. Let people do what they do, because your number one concern is your assignment. You got to do what you came to do. That's it. That's it. So whether or not, because it keeps us in the pattern, this is the emotional detox stuff. When you don't step up, when you don't take the opportunity, guess who rejects you? It ain't people. It's you. Your rejection, your silent inner conversation. Girl, you look at all the opportunities you done messed up. You should have did that 10 years ago. I can't believe how long it took you to get that degree. I can't believe you still in this relationship. Look at you. You counsel people and you give everybody else advice. Do you think that's motivating? Nope. That's you putting yourself down. That's you rejecting yourself, and it keeps you down. It keeps you down. It keeps you with the devil with his foot on your neck. And you got to get to the place where you carry the mentality, you know what? If I die, but I'll die trying. I'm trying. So, like I said, soul wound of neglect, soul wound of abandonment, soul wound of rejection, worried about what people are going to say, worried about what people are going to talk about, whether you fail, whether you succeed. I told you there's only 3 reasons. And this last reason coincides with the soul wound of chaos and disruption. The only other excuse, the only other reason that you give for not being who you are called to be is this lie in your head of I'm not enough. Or there isn't enough, which is the same lie, lack. And can I just tell you something? Can I just let you know you are not enough? for the assignment that has been placed in your soul and spirit. Can I remind you that you are just a vessel? You're not here as a God. God operates through you. So you have to make yourself available for something that is bigger than you. You're just a piece in a puzzle. And I told you all yesterday that you're holding up the kingdom. You're holding up progress because you got the missing piece, and you won't get in position because you keep saying, you keep looking at the whole lay of the land and saying, I don't have that. I don't have this. I don't have that. I don't have enough education. I don't have enough money. That's why God is going to send people, but he's not going to send people while you ain't making steps, while you're not making moves. Do y'all remember the second time the Israelites went into the Jordan and were going to the promise? The first time God parted the Red Sea and said, just cross. But after they had been with him for a while, and it was actually time to go into the place of promise, the instruction was walk into the water, and as you walk, the water parts. And most of us, we're sitting on the sidelines saying, well, God, when you do this, and this, then I'll do this, and this. And God is like, okay, well, you're going to be waiting, because that's not the instruction. It is time for you to move by faith. I think I said yesterday or Monday, time out for this little kindergarten faith. Y'all keep wanting to be in the baby pool. You are way too big to be in the baby pool, sitting up with floaties when you know how to swim. Get your behind in the deep end of the pool. Jump off the diving board. Stop being over there playing in the baby pool with a pull-up on. It is time for you to move. Get over there. You have enough. You may not have enough, but God has enough. God has people positioned. And so as soon as you start walking, other people start coming. As soon as you put your faith in action and start moving, then people start showing up. I'm a witness. As soon as you say, yes, I'm going to invest in myself, money starts showing up. So as long as you're sitting up saying, I'm waiting on the money, you will never do it. You will never do it. God is impressed with faith. Without faith, it is impossible to please him. So you want it all laid out because the soul wound of chaos and disruption is safety and security. And you're like, God, show me. Show me. God is like, I done shown you all I'm going to show you. Now it's your turn. Operate in faith. Your turn. So you got to decide, do you really want the results that God showed you when you were at the altar, when you were snotting and crying, when God woke you up at 3 a.m. and God gave you a glimpse of what your life could look like? Just a glimpse. And instead of moving, because you can't think too long. That's why I said, I love the ladies in my tribe. Y'all are the smartest women. And I know I got a few brothers on here tonight. Intelligent folks, but sometimes intelligence can be your downfall, because when you think long, you think wrong. And then all you do is come up with more reasons why you not and why you can't. And God is saying, time out for your reasons. You better find a reason why you must. And like I said, here I am. This is in Korea. Hello from Korea, October 31st. I don't know what time it is. 9:38 in the morning for me on a Thursday. That means tomorrow is November 1st. That means we have 61 days to get it right. It is not for you. Let me say it like this, because I don't want you to kick into your overachievement. There is a feminine flow that you must get in. And the feminine flow is, I am still, I am listening. God, you are speaking, and I am moving quietly. Have you ever seen a woman move like that? One of those powerful mothers, powerful grandmothers, where she ain't saying a whole lot, but she moving, and you can feel the power. That's how you're going to have to move over the next 61 days. where whatever God tells you to do, you better do it. If God tells you by the time we get to day 5 that you better get into the 6-week detox, that you better go and dig up some stuff that you keep trying to bury, you keep burying it alive and it keeps coming back and choking you. You just because you talk about it doesn't mean that it doesn't exist. I don't know, and particularly for those of us, people of color, we tend to think if I don't say nothing, if I ignore it, then it don't exist. If I don't go to the doctor, the pain will go away. And, you know, all these wives' tales, all this stuff, all this foolishness that keeps us just ignoring the obvious. Ignoring the obvious. And this is my godly appeal to you. Because this is, again, I didn't plan on doing this. This was not on my agenda for 2019. But let me tell you, God stripped me down so bare and said, Melissa, you ain't ready for the thing I got prepared for you. And God made me deal with some areas that I've been putting on the back burner, some things that I was like, I ain't got time for that. I'll deal with that later. Yeah, we got this issue in our relationship, but we'll deal with that later. I don't got time. I don't want to deal with that. Let's be honest. I don't even want to deal with that. And God said, I'm not going to let you hide in your work. I'm not going to let you hide in your family. If I got to take you all the way to the other side of the world over here in freaking South Korea to get your attention, I will strip everything from you. I will disrupt your normal business as usual to get you on your face and say, it's me and you. And for some of you, you know that's where you are. God will not let you pass go. God will not let you collect $200. You are not going to get to move ahead until you deal with what God told you to deal with. Whatever that is. So tonight, if you look at page 2 of the life work, it talks about what's the lie you've been telling yourself. What's the story that you have made up that keeps you standing still, that keeps you stopping and starting, that keeps you in hesitation, that makes you turn the TV on when God says, come spend some quiet time with me. And you know, if you hear it, you're going to have to be accountable to it, but you don't even want to hear it because you're too afraid of it. And it's not that you're afraid of it. You're afraid of the people you might have to piss off. You're afraid of the people that you might have to let go of. You're afraid of some people you might have to tell the truth to. But can I tell you, when you try to hold on by way of the soul wound, when you try to hold on, you end up getting the very thing you fear. So while you're trying to hold on to people, you lose yourself. While you're trying to be safe and secure, you end up more unstable than you ever been. While you're trying to be accepted, you end up betraying and rejecting your own self. So recognize what God is speaking to you. That you are not on here by accident. You didn't find Melissa Brown by accident. That this is for you. This is for you. So again, you owe it to yourself to spend some time with you. Let God speak to you so that you can get ready for what is coming. And when it comes, it's going to be quick. And you won't have time to go get ready. You better be ready. You won't have time. And I don't want you to personally be in regret saying woulda, coulda, shoulda. Dang, I should have did that. Why didn't I do that then? This is the time. This is the day. You better work while it is still day because the night comes and nobody can work. Do it now. So tomorrow we will meet back here, same place, same time. I love you all. Y'all stayed with me the whole time. Let me know what you know, what excuse you need to let go of. In fact, I want you to declare your reason why you must. The reason why you must. We ain't even going to speak the reasons why you haven't. Why must you do it now? Who's waiting on you? What legacy are you trying to build? Because it has to outlast you. Has to outlast you. We need some stuff in the earth that's going to last. So, much love to all of you. Thank you guys for staying with me. Share this with another sister, even brothers. Thank y'all for hanging in with the Soul Love Coach. I pray that it blessed your spirit. And I'll meet you guys here, same time, same place tomorrow night. All right. Bye-bye, y'all.